Hi, this is Luke Robitaille from the LA Kings, and listen to King's Realm. I think they actually do know what they're saying.
Welcome to the King's Realm, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network and DraftKings. Be sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at King's Realm Pod, and leave us a voicemail at 562-317-0087. You guys are part of history. This is our first live stream podcast, and it's probably going to be a shit show, but not if our special guest has anything to say about that. So let's get into this. I am Dennis Wilson. That is James Whitlock.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? And want to let you know that it's that time of year again, so bubble teams are making their final push for a bid, while the top seeds are preparing for what they hope is a long run. And DraftKings is giving all customers a free shot at up to $100,000 in total prizes. All you have to do is head to DraftKings app and make your picks. Download the DraftKings app, head to their free play to pool page, and enter DraftKings free $100,000 tournament seeding pool. Free-to-play pools are easy to play. All you have to do is make a pick, and for that, you get a ticket into March's biggest tournament. If you have the most answers correct, you win. The bank is open. Plus, don't forget about golf's fifth major this weekend, taking place in Florida, where DraftKings will have even more money up for grabs. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code THPN to get a free shot at a share of $100,000 in total prizes with DraftKings Tournament Seeding Pool. That's promo code THPN to get a free shot at $100,000 in prizes.
Big money.
Only at DraftKings.
Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
I forgot we're live. I got to move my mouth.
That's right. I love how you just like totally cut off Jordan too. That's fantastic. It's good to be the producer.
Exactly. All right, bring him in.
Jordan Heckman's here.
I had to get another beer because I had to crack it. So
what's great is we didn't even bring him in, so we couldn't hear him bitching about him. Just completely talking over him.
I was like, can they hear me? I don't know.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
All right, now the bills are paid, and the real person everybody probably tuned in to see right now is friend of the show, former LA Kings player, current Kings broadcaster, and Hall of Famer in the Kings Realm studio. Please welcome from the armpit, Derek Army Armstrong.
Rock and roll.
What a crack.
You expect anything less?
No,
I'm not amateur like you guys. You guys are on live TV. I bet you guys are a little nervous. Probably need more than one or two, I bet.
Yeah, we haven't done any. So you got more experience than anybody.
Yeah,
James is nervous. His voice just cracked.
Thank God you guys got faces for radio.
Yeah. No kidding, right?
Can confirm. Yeah, 100%.
So I love the glimpse we got of the armpit last night after the game. The little tour from the steam room. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like I put on a few pounds of that robe. I can tell you that. I'll have to wear a dark robe instead of a gray one. But I get in the gym a little bit here. It's all right, a little bit older. But yeah, it's you know what, my whole entire life, especially for coming from Canada, everyone in Canada has basements. So I always, I said if I ever made the NHL or ever gave into a little bit of money, I would always make a place where I could go home. I got two boys and my wife, and we all like competition. So we got a bunch of games down here, and we spend a lot of great family time. And I think that's the most important thing when you get something like this, and your kids want to come over, and your kids' friends want to come over. And problem is my wife and her friends like it down here way more than I do. That's the problem.
They're taking over.
Yeah, they take over awfully quick. It was supposed to be for a sports room. Now it's turned into a bachelor room. What's the Bachelor, the Bachelorette, Orange County housewives down here. I'm like, it's supposed to be a sports room.
You're speaking George's language.
Shorts that would like that. Yeah.
How dare you?
At least they're not using the urinal. That's.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what they're doing late night. Yeah. So it's not awesome.
After a few glasses of rosé, I mean.
Oh, they love the Pinot. They love the Pinot like we love our beers.
That's got to make Foxy happy, right?
Oh, for sure. Oh, exactly. Foxy's no amateur in that department.
Yeah, really. So thank you for joining. We had a good time last time, told some great stories, and you're always one of the favorite guests here at King's Realm. So we appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, I don't do this very often, but when you guys call, I'll always help you guys out, especially first live broadcast. That's pretty cool. None of you
It's
guys got
cool.
makeup on either, eh? Y'all just
Yeah.
good looking dudes.
Ah, man, come
No
on.
makeup,
Wait,
eh?
what? You can't
hide
tell that I
behind
have
the
makeup
mic.
on right now?
It's,
Is it
you,
that
you,
bad?
you don't even know who I am. I can't even answer you. I think you guys should all drink today. Doesn't you know who I am?
That's right.
If you don't remember Derek's last time on the show, Jordan revealed that he didn't start watching LA Kings hockey until 2011 and got a very candid response. Still one of my favorite quotes of all time.
Still,
comes
still
up
repeated often.
Almost
That's
once
all
an
right.
episode.
Maybe as long as he's watching them now, that's all. They're much better now than I played. So
That's fair.
I can understand why. I can understand why he didn't watch me.
Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of when you played, like if you think about the talent pool right now, who do you think you would be most excited to play with if you were still on the ice?
For the LA Kings or NHL in general?
For the Kings.
Why not both?
Obviously, I mean, all the young guys, they're still so young yet, so we can't get a really, an impact of where they're going to be. Obviously, I play with Kopi and Brownie and Doughty, and for me, it's so cool. I mean, I watched them when they were Turcotte's age and Byfield's age, and all these young guys coming in. That's what I knew them as. I knew them as just 18, 19-year-old kids that are coming in from junior, just like this young generation of player coming in. So from where they've started, like this new group is coming in to where they're, 4 or 5 years away from finishing, it is truly amazing. I mean, I watched Kopi play the last 2 or 3 years now. He's an absolute robot out there. I don't think he makes mistakes, and probably the best player I've ever seen play like that in the history of hockey that I played with was Nick Lindstrom. He never made a mistake, and obviously Kopi played center and Lindstrom played defense. But it's like you watch him in practice, doesn't make a bad pass. He's never in wrong position. Stick's always right position. The game's so easy, and I knew him at 18. He was my roommate on the road at 18. I would have never I knew he was going to be good, but man, he's really good.
He's really good.
I've been a lot of good players in my lifetime, and I mean he's really good, boy. And Kings are lucky to have someone like him around for a long time.
Yeah, and I think now, like with there being more talent around him, you're really getting to see him kind of air out like his other talents. He's kind of being able to be more creative. You've seen that especially like the last few games where he's made some pretty spectacular plays, passes to Brown and stuff like that. It's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, and I think for them, I think the rest really helped them and Doughty and Brown, and I mean those guys played a lot of hockey for a lot of years. I mean they weren't just playing Stanley Cup; they were playing All-Star games, they were playing World Championships, they were playing Olympics. I mean, they played a lot of hockey, and I think not even resting their body, but resting their mind was the most important thing. I think they went home to like, we miss playing hockey so much. It looks like they're just having fun again, which it's good to have a little bit of talent around you, obviously, but it looks like they're really enjoying the game again. Brownie looks like he's 18 years old, just out there, no pressure on him, no stress. And, Dowdy's the same way there. It's just like they got some, higher end, younger talent around them, which helps a lot. Bjorn's really good. Mike Anderson's very steady. I mean, what a player he's going to turn into, and Kempe number 9 is just flying right now. I mean,
right.
No one would have ever thought he would have got to there, and he's playing really well right now too. So I think it helps that you have a little bit of talent around you to re-energize you, not that you have to do everything every single night. And I think for Kopi and Brownie, them not having to kill penalties every night now, I think is masterful. I coached a little bit in the minors down here. I never ran my top line penalty killing because it just takes too much energy, and they're both so good at it. But I think those 2 or 3 minutes of we play 3 games, that's 9 minutes a night of not as hard minutes. I think it's really rejuvenating, and it's like I said, they're on the right path, and it's been fun to watch.
It's definitely helped Brownie.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say the same thing. We mentioned it last show or the one before. Brown is off of it, and obviously Kopitar now too, and you're really seeing it like in their play outside of that. It's exciting.
Yeah, and like I talked about, I just like you guys, it doesn't seem like it's a job to them anymore. The last couple of years, it looked like there's so much pressure on them and stress, and they all get that big money, and when you get that big money, it's a big difference. I remember when I first got my $1 million contract, I was just like, you put a little bit, nothing like their kind of money, but $1 million for a guy who grew up in the military or in a trailer park, that's a lot of money for a kid like myself, and I remember my first couple of games after I got that $1 million contract, I was so nervous, and I don't know why. I earned that money, and then you feel like you owe it to your teammates, and you owe it to the owner, and you owe it to the coach that they give you that kind of money. You almost try a little too much harder, and now, like I said, it's like I think they're just really enjoying it now. They're like, you know what? We earned this money, we deserve this money. Now we're just going to start playing hockey again and enjoying it. And I think they really are. So it's going to be fun to watch. And they're, like I said, they're in the hunt right now, so it's awesome.
How much of Brown's kids saying that he's not very good at hockey do you think is actually fueling him right now?
I think it really motivates you. You know, I talked about that on air, a couple months ago. When I have two kids, obviously they're 21 and 17, but when my wife was pregnant her last 2 months, I was horrible because you're thinking about it, and then all of a sudden they come out and you're like, oh, what a relief. And it's almost like Brownie, his kids are, I stopped playing with my oldest was 7 or 8, but his kids are like, I think 10, 11, his oldest one now. And they get to appreciate it. Like they're really good players. His wife's a good player. So they're obviously really good hockey players. And now they're, me and my kids play golf, ping pong, we're always competing with each other. So he's kind of at the age now where he's challenging Dad a little bit, and Dad still doesn't want to back down. So that's really, it helps motivate people. We're just human beings. And when your own family's sitting there telling you not very good, you want to go out there prove you're wrong. And, you try to, I'm 47 now, and my kids are just on the fringe of starting to beat me at stuff, and I'm not liking it too much. But
that's gotta hurt.
I wanted to hang on till 50, but I don't know if I got it anymore. But it's hard to let go when you're a high-end athlete, and obviously Brownie's still in great condition and a great athlete. And he can shove it up his guys and go, hey, I'm still the best Brown in the house. So it's pretty cool that I heard he's got some pretty good players too as well, which is cool.
Yeah, it's. I bet after that stick handling in front of the net a couple weeks ago, it was nice to go home and wake his kid up and be like, "Hey, you see that? You see that? Hey, wake up!"
Yeah, hopefully he got home. His kid cracked the beer and said, "Dad, you're pretty good."
Yeah.
I don't know if Brownie drinks, but if he does, I hope his son goes, "You know what? You're pretty good."
That's great.
So, question with COVID and everything, when's the last time you were in the office? Do you go in the office much at all?
We don't anymore. We it's the same thing. You just got to be careful. We got shut down in February. Same thing. More I have a great hockey development department with Chris Karate, Marissa, Portsy, Jordan, G. We have a great department. There's 5 of us, and we do a lot of camps around the world and around the country. I think that's what hurt the most. We go to Whitefish, Montana, Park City, Utah. We were going to Beijing. We're just starting a whole academy in Mexico City. We were just supposed to start it the 2 weeks before we were going to Mexico City. COVID came, so we do a bunch of Zoom calls with them. So we go to Mammoth. We go all over the place with our department, and it's been really awesome because when we go into these camps, I tell the parents and the kids, I'm not here to put you guys in NHL, or I'm not here to put you guys in college. I'm here for you guys to enjoy the game. I look at you three. Just looking at you guys, I probably think you're not very good hockey players, but
no.
it doesn't mean you don't love the game as much as I do. They're just obviously I get a little bit of more ability than you, and I work much harder at it than playing. But it doesn't mean that you guys don't enjoy the game just as much as I do. And that's what I'm trying to preach. Is my mom can't skate, my dad can't skate, but the hockey's been really good for them their whole entire life. So it's. I try to really preach just to love the game. You don't have to be a great player to fall in love with the sport. It takes obviously a very special person to even get to NHL or professional or even college. But you can still love the sport even if you're not a very good player. Look at me; I wasn't a very good player.
Well, and you got that scouting eye you're showing off right now. You picked out three guys that couldn't do it.
Yeah, there you go. You're all good-looking dudes. So you're on TV. That's what they do, right? You found your talent.
Yeah. You still have that purple chair in the office?
Oh yeah. That was one of the Lakers couches I got. So yeah, it was good. I enjoy the office. It becomes your team. Like the group I work with now is really good. Like Chris Karate's our boss, but we got Courtney Ports, Marissa, G. They all love the game. Like we go on these camps, and we all love being at the camps. Like we talk hockey. We still chat about the Kings. Like they even give me scoops about the Kings. They're highly knowledgeable people. So it's pretty cool that I get to work with this group of people because the passion for the game and the passion for the growth, and all of us have, all the kids that I work with, grew up kind of watching me play, so we all have such passion for the Kings. They're Kings fans. I was so fortunate I got to play in the NHL for the LA Kings. They gave me the opportunity to play. So it was so cool that we all get to, go to Beijing or go to China or go to Mexico City and get to wear the Kings logo and represent this great game of hockey and great organization. I wouldn't ask for any better job. I'm living a dream life now after hockey. Obviously I went through some struggles for 4 or 5 years, but the Kings have given me great opportunity and I'm really trying to give back.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, Foxy and Fausti had Blake on, and he actually shared a lot about, being that assistant GM and what it was like to transition in, which is good. I don't think Blake. I think Blake is an easy target for a lot of fans that are like expecting immediate, results and expecting the Kings to be undefeated every season. And that's unfortunate because a lot of the moves that were made, over the last years are tremendous. And so I'm glad that he got that exposure there, but I'm sure that Army has a much better story from Blake.
Yeah, you know what? I love Blakey. He's probably one of my top five favorite teammates of all times. Obviously, because he's a Hall of Famer, but he loves the game. You guys obviously know him and know him, but he'll sit there and talk hockey with you all day long, and he'll listen like a lot of guys. They'll talk to regular fans. They'll just pretend to listen. Like he really listens to everybody, and I think that's what makes him such a great GM. He's obviously I'm ADD, and I'm like, I ride the emotions just like the fans do. I'm the emotional player. I go so high, I go so low. I'm all over the place as well. That was a good thing for me and a bad thing some nights because I couldn't sleep. But I always rode my emotions. Where Blakey's always been like that, and I think that what makes him a great GM. Obviously, people, fans will always jump on you. But what Blakey and his org staff has done, and Nelson Emerson and Luke Robitaille, what they've done the last 2 or 3 years is really spectacular. Like you're watching Detroit. They're still in the rebuild. There's Columbus is who knows what they're going to be. Florida's just 20 years into it. These teams. Blakey's Ottawa. Yeah, Ottawa's a little bit different, but LA went from Stanley Cup, those 4 years, and all of a sudden they decided to make these changes. And now they have the best prospect pool in hockey. They got young guys in the lineup. They're Hall of Fame guys. It look like they still got another 4 years left in them. They're so far ahead of those teams below them, like Florida, and Florida's obviously better now, but Columbus and Detroit and Ottawa, these teams, Buffalo. Buffalo's the same thing. We're so far ahead of those three teams, and we shouldn't because we won 2 cups, and now we're on the other side. Now we're back in the middle. And what I always say is the biggest thing is to get in games. When you're first in your rebuild, you're just trying to hang around games. You're trying to be there. You're trying to get there, and trying to plug people in. And you're going to lose some big ones. You're going to win some big ones, kind of like Ottawa, Buffalo. You never know where to get. Now the Kings are already in the second phase of the rebuild, where they're in every single game now. They're in the they're maybe possibly getting to the playoffs. They've bypassed that first stage, and Blake and all these guys have done a great job. And the final stage is obviously you got to learn to close games out, and that takes a lot of time to learn for young guys to close games out every night. But from my my perspective of being around hockey for a long time is that I think they're already in the second stage of it. With they're in close games every single night, and I think that's important for them. So I think they've done a great job. People can say whatever they want, but we'll see where they are in 2 or 3 years, and I think they've done a fantastic job. Like I said about Blakey, one of the best teammates. I would have guys come out from California. Obviously, he lives in Manhattan Beach, and some of my buddies from Colorado where I live, and he played for the Avalanche. They're massive fans. Anytime I call Blakey, we come over, stop by, and say hi. He would open the front door, let us go for a swim, and he's always been nice to everybody, and that's what makes him the best guy. He doesn't have to open the door for anybody, and anytime I've ever called him, he's never turned me down, and I try to be loyal to him and Luke. They've both been great to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
He was
sorry, I keep looking at the TV. I got 2 TVs going here. I'm looking at this hockey. Sorry if I keep looking away.
No, you're good.
Good job, right?
Sorry about that. I'm obsessed with the. I'm talking to you guys. I got 2 NHL games on. I'm obsessed with the game. Sorry.
That's great. That's why you're here, right? That's why we love talking to you.
I love the game, man. I love this game so much.
Yeah, it's
so good.
Big piece of our life too.
What games do you have on right now?
I just got the NHL Network right now. So
gotcha.
And then I have the LA Angels and San Francisco baseball game.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you guys? I got a question for you guys. How do you guys find it different with the podcast, and where'd you guys all start? Where'd you guys all start in this business? Let me hear about you guys a little bit. I'm sure the fans never hear where you guys come from. How'd you guys become Kings fans? Let's hear about that. I'm allowed to be a pro. This is what I do for a living too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the questions.
We just got interviewed right now.
Take a drink. Don't get nervous on me. I know that. I want a story about you guys, where each one of you guys, how you guys fell in love with this great game, like I have.
My dad took me to the Forum when I was a kid, and it was our connection. It was the thing that we did together, and him and my uncle would go to a lot of games, and so I would hear a lot of the stories when they would go out, and
How'd
they
the
come back
Bears?
with some. Hey, oh yeah, just piss
Yeah,
drunk,
yeah.
come back, have tons of stories. And I got to go whenever my uncle couldn't go, so I didn't get to go to a lot of games, but I did get to go to some, and it was always special with my dad. So I kind of carried that through, and then we started a group of us used to do guys' nights, and it didn't continue once we all started having kids. So then
I
the
know, that
podcast
stinks.
was the reason to come back
Awesome.
and get together every week. So I ended up talking way too much on the LA Sports podcast. So we started the Guys in Shorts Kings show, and then it developed to the Kings Realm. So the Godfather Jeff Wilson got Dennis and Jordan together and me, and we put this group together. So here it is.
Yeah, I've been watching hockey longer than I can remember. So when the Kings got Gretzky, my dad and my uncle wanted to go see Gretzky play, and Robitaille was my favorite player. And I'll never forget it. When we walked into the Forum, walked out through the tunnel, we were on the end behind one of the nets, and I saw the ice for the first time, and I just stopped. And I'll never forget my dad like turning around, realizing he was getting ahead of me. And he turned around and like knelt down. He's like, "How cool is this?" Like, and I was just like amazed. And the Kings wound up beating the Oilers like 8-3 that night, and it's just been hooked ever since.
That's awesome.
Absolutely love it. So
Yeah, I don't really have like a cool like I was a kid and
Shocker.
started watching hockey story.
Shocker.
Then I already know this, right?
Do you even like hockey? Do you even like hockey?
That's
You
the
know,
one.
this is a basketball broadcast.
I was like, that's the one with the stick and the white ball, right? Right?
Jordan saw a news story that Derek Armstrong was retiring, and so he's like, "Let me check this game out."
Yeah. Who is this guy?
That's exactly how the story went.
I'll start watching once he retires.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it started off. I mean, randomly watching. It was a Kings playoff game against the Sharks in 2011, and I just was hooked from there. Like, obviously, like growing up playing football, I was like, "Oh, cool!" They like hit the crap out of each other. Like, that's what kind of brought me in. But then, like, following the game, man, like, and then like, I don't know. There's just it is such like it embodies the gentleman's sport like to a T, and like you can go beat the crap out of somebody, and then at the end of the night, you can go shake their hand, like, "Hey, nice freaking game, bud." And that's why I feel like what you're doing with like growing the game and stuff like that, like that's a big part. Like if we want to grow this game, like we gotta like bring in new fans. Where some people could be like kind of like exclusive with it, and I hate to see that. And it's like, no, like let's grow this game, let's get it bigger, like let's get it on ESPN, and they've done that now, and I think it's great.
And then I think the big thing is these podcasts and, a lot of things in it. And I'm around a lot of youth hockey. I was for a while. I think we got to continue to grow it the right way because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of, people out there making too much money off the youth side. Sorry, I'm just going to give my honest opinion.
Yeah.
It's really hard to play this game for a long time and a living, but we got to make sure these kids are really having fun doing it. Obviously, if you don't have the passion for the game or you don't have fun, you have absolutely no chance to even play college. So we got to make sure we continue letting these kids have as much fun as they possibly can. Even if it's just throwing a ball out there and just letting them play hockey on their skates and for fun. We got to grow the fun back in this world. It's just there's not enough hope and there's not enough joy and not enough kindness anymore. We got to get that kindness back to the world. Compete when you can, but let's start being kind to everybody again.
Yeah, that's a great thing
Absolutely.
about Kings.
I got to answer one quick question. They talked about me, Blakey, hip checking me in the pool down here. I don't know what it is, Twitter or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they also asked how I lost my teeth.
Yeah, that's my boys. They get to stay.
Okay, so I'll give you the answer. So my teeth right here. So I was playing in the game, and I went to the net, and Rob Blake took a slap shot. Zygmunt Pelfrey tipped it and hit me in the face. So knocked those teeth out. I lost these two, these four. Got up, chewed them up, went to the bench. They stitched me up in the back, and I didn't miss a shift. 32 stitches. I didn't miss a shift. That's all right. I actually lost them. And the next night we played back-to-back nights. We might have played back-to-back nights, or we played like 2 games in 3 nights. So my mouth was like this. And my youngest son, who's bananas, he's playing hockey now. I was sitting there, I just feel sore, and he ran across the couch and kicked me as hard as he could in the face because he wanted to wrestle with me. My wife was feeding me noodles like this. I'm like, this should be a reality show.
Oh my God.
And I'm sitting here right now, and I'm telling you, I don't know how I ever did. That was the most pain. I'd eat noodles like this, and then the next morning I woke up and it was like raw in here, mangled, and I'm like, I could never do that now. I don't understand how us hockey players or high-end athletes can do that. You ask me to do that right now for $1 million, I'd say no chance.
I was going to ask you how you would like get back in the game, like even you have the adrenaline going during the game, but like the next game, like
we have this certain kind of compete in me, like I was till I got to, I moved away to play junior at 17. Till I got to 17, I was like the shyest kid you ever met. Like my mom would like tell me to go to school dance, or she'd tell me to go like here's money to go to 7-Eleven. I would never leave the house. Like I was the shyest kid you ever met in your whole entire life, but for some reason, sports just lit me up on the inside. I could just compete like a son of a gun in any kind of sport, but after the sport, I was just like crumble and humble and scared of the world. It's amazing what sports can do for people. And that's what we got to keep telling people. Like you play sports to get confidence, to learn how to be a good person, to take instruction, to be a leader, not to make millions of dollars playing hockey or whatever you may have. If that happens, but that's not why we got to keep teaching these kids how to play sports. We got to teach them how to be leaders in this world and be kind to each other. And it's okay to butt heads a little bit, and then 5 minutes later say, "Yeah, no worries, the competition's over." So that's what I've always gotten out of sports. That's what I've always enjoyed.
Those are great words. Now, boys, go to bed.
What is that? The Twitter? What is that? What are they firing on Twitter or something?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I'm learning stuff over here too.
There you go. See, I'm the guinea pig for your live TV.
All right, and then someone asked when do we start taking questions, and then someone else said whenever we run out of booze. So then it said so never then. All right,
yeah, that might be all night.
Oh man,
Rylock said when James Luke met Luke as a kid, when we were in your office seeing Luke, and then
that's right. Yeah, Luke, like I said, you never seen a better ambassador for the game than Luke Robitaille, man.
No,
if you ever seen his schedule on a daily basis, I got a lot of energy. Holy smokes, the stuff he does for the Kings and for hockey, and it gives back to charity with his wife's charity, man. He's an amazing man. What he does for this world, boy.
Echoes of Hope is amazing. King's Care Foundation is amazing. Like you talked about, just reaching out to kids, and it's 5,000 sets of gear every year, 10,000 sets of gear going out to youth sports every year.
Yeah, we do. When we run that Little Kings program, our department, and I mean, what a treat that is we get 1,075 kids every year playing hockey, and once that comes back, I would recommend to anyone to. I think the ages are from 4 to 8, I think it is. But what a way to get involved in hockey! Pay $175. I think you get all the headgear, head to toe. You get
that's great.
It is. That's such a
great
reward
program.
In our department. I really enjoy it.
I've got a buddy that did it for both of his kids, and like they loved it, and they like that's all they want to do. Like throughout this entire COVID thing, like they just like, can we go skate? Can we go skate? And finally, like Orange County's kind of opening up and stuff like that, so they're gonna start going again. So they're pumped.
It's an amazing program. The NHL does that. Obviously, the Kings we're one of the front runners for. We got good people doing it, but to teach kids how to play that game, like a lot of times we're just doing snow angels on the ice. And what's wrong with that? I mean, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? Some parent will be like, "Oh, my kid does snow angels." Well, who cares?
He's having fun, right?
He's having fun. Yeah.
One kid's scoring goals. One kid's doing snow angels. One kid's playing freestyle. They're on the ice. That's all that counts.
Right.
I did plenty of snow angels in the NHL, so it's all relative. Right? Like this on the ice plenty of times, getting picked up from the thing. So don't say snow angels aren't part of the game.
Yeah, right.
What was that? It was like a year or two ago that dad mic'd up his like 4 or 5-year-old kid on the ice.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It was great.
I don't watch it social media stuff, so I can't live in my own bubble.
Like he's just out there just like talking about rainbows and like stuff like that and like skating, and it's great. It's so awesome.
Very wholesome.
Which it should be. It's just a game. Like my kids never started playing AAA hockey till 15, 16 years old. I just want them to love the sport as much as I do. That's all.
Great.
Whether
that's
they're
awesome.
Good at it or not.
Speaking of your kids, I hear tomorrow's a pretty big day for the Armstrong family.
Oh, big day tomorrow. So my oldest plays in the USPHL, so he's in a do or die playoff game at 1:30. So tomorrow they win or go on, or they lose, they're out. So that's a massive game. He plays for the Utah Outliers. And then my youngest son, Easton, he played a couple games last year, but he's in the bubble in Regina with the Regina Pats. So they're in the bubble. They have 7 teams in the bubble in the Western Hockey League. So tomorrow night, he made the starting lineup. So tomorrow night's his first game. So 1:30 that game. Then Easton plays at 7. Then I got to help cover it. Then I cover the Kings Avs game from the armpit. So I might be past my bedtime right now. I'm getting older, you know. So steamer, get some eucalyptus in there, and away I go. So, but you know what? There's me and my wife. There's no better day we'd rather have tomorrow than we watch hockey all day long. It's going to be awesome. It's dream day.
So
dream
cool.
day for us. Yeah.
You have a chance to see the games?
Oh yeah, that's a great thing about computers. And yeah, Dawson's on. They do hockey TV, so we watch all the games off hockey TV. And then Easton's the Western Hockey League has a whole thing. Yeah, so you can watch every single game. Yeah, it's awesome. That's the one good thing about youth sports, and a lot of things people make money off it, but it's really good that like a dad will broadcast a game of youth kids, and our grandma and grandpa and all the relatives get to watch it. So it's pretty cool. Like when I played in junior. When I went up to Sudbury, I wouldn't see mom and dad until they got to come up one time a year, or even I wouldn't get to call them. I have to find a quarter or collect call, and we didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't talk to mom and dad till Saturday or Sunday, So
Wow.
The only thing my dad ever told me goes, "You son, you better get on that score sheet. You better get on the box score. You fight, you get a penalty, get an assist, you get a goal. I just want to know that you played that night." So my dad said, "No matter what you do, you find a way to get your name in the box scores." He said, "Because all the scouts look in the box scores every day, and I don't know if you play the box scores. You used to read the paper, so if your name's in the paper, they're like, oh, you must be doing something right." So my dad always told me, "You find a way to get in that box score." So
there you go.
I always kept that in my brain.
How times have changed.
Yeah.
Now the dad says, "You better make one goal this year and get on ESPN. I don't care what else you do. Just get one clip on YouTube, but you score a fancy
It
goal.
better go viral.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do. One goal on YouTube, and you've done your job."
There you go. Be creative.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is good too. A lot of good creativity stuff.
It's like you better be practicing that freaking
Through the legs, or
Yeah.
spin around-
Michigan.
spin around.
yeah. I was like,
I
what?
played the Michigan one
what
day in
state
beer
is
league.
it?
I almost concussed myself again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I looked at it and then, harder than you think.
Just think about how legendary
5-year-old beer league goalie, I still couldn't score.
that move has just become legendary.
Yeah.
That first happened so many years ago, and it finally broke into the NHL.
But
And
that guy at Michigan State did it, right? A long time ago.
yeah. That was years ago.
Yeah, that was when I was still playing. That was so decades ago.
Yeah.
So it's pre-2011. Okay.
Yeah,
got it.
obviously. Yeah.
You were still watching lawn bowling
Yeah.
and darts. You're watching lawn bowling and darts, going, "Oh, maybe I should switch over to hockey." Yeah. That Saturday morning, what is that, BBC? Oh, 301, 301.
He watches the
It's always the
Ocho.
British that win, It gets old.
Good darts, Jordan. Good darts.
Yeah, that's the extent of my dart knowledge. So.
Yeah, there you go. And then you see hockey, you're like, yeah, maybe I'll switch over.
Smart move. Smart move.
Oh man.
All right. Anything else? Army, any last thoughts?
I'm good, man. Like I said, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I really love coming on your thing, especially now that you're live. I mean, I'm much better looking in person on TV than I thought I was. I'm not even wearing any makeup. Makeup, I'm still doing all right here.
Exactly.
Well, there's no amount of makeup that can help us, so you're doing all right.
I hide behind this mic,
true.
so I'm
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie about that. There's nothing that can help you guys much.
Oh well.
That's fair.
It's the
But like I
passion
said,
that counts, right?
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys getting me on. I enjoy talking hockey. Anytime you want me to come on, I love talking hockey. And thank you for all you guys do and giving back for this great game.
Yeah, absolutely. You're a great friend of the show, and we really appreciate you coming on and just your growth in broadcasting. I love that we have so many former players on the broadcast team because it really helps to share that knowledge and pass it on and give it kind of an inside look.
Yeah, and I think it's important. Obviously, you obviously need, Patrick O'Neill does a good job of leading us into the questions, but it's different because, all of us had different paths getting to the NHL, and all of us, had different stories, and all of us played different positions, and all of us see the game different, and I think it's important to get different perspectives, not just one person. And that's how the world is today. You want to get different perspectives from everybody. And I think that's what the Kings have done a great job of, bringing alumni guys in and letting them tell their story and letting them get back to the game. So, like I said, I owe a lot to them. They've been really good to me.
No, you're giving back tons, so thank you.
You got it. Thank you guys.
All right. Dennis, you want to take us out?
Yeah, I don't know how this Go Kings Go chant is going to work at the end of this, but
It's horrible live. So
You
I mean,
better make it
Host
good.
is gonna be a
You better
bitch.
get your pom poms out here. Let's.
hey man, it's going to happen and it's going to be bad. So
Shift to the left, shift to the
Oh
right.
wait, I thought we were gonna do this before
I didn't
we
bring my
started.
glasses out.
We had to get into the army.
I didn't have
the glasses.
You know what? I wear the glasses, but when I wear the mask, I can't wear them because they fog up on
They
me.
fog
now,
up.
now we don't.
Yeah.
Have to, now we don't have to wear masks again. I get a good glass collection coming out again. So it's gonna be
There you
good.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Excited
now
to see it.
Jordan knows who Derek is.
Yeah.
Nice. You finally watch him.
Yeah. He's the guy who wears glasses. These guys that wear glasses that are too big for his head.
No, my
that's
dome is
Army.
way too big.
Oh, that's Army.
Yeah, that's my problem is I can never find them big enough, so I always have smaller glasses.
Exactly.
All right, Dennis.
All right. So once again, make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at Kings Realm Pod, and check out the Hockey Podcast Network, the whole family of hockey podcasts, and check out Derek Army Armstrong on the Fox Sports West broadcast. Just about every game, right? You're there all the time now. So
I'm getting more games. Yeah, I'm getting more games. So it's been cool.
love it.
So
Love it when you're
Tomorrow
on.
from the
So
armpit.
I'm coming from the pit tomorrow. So you got to watch tomorrow. I got a good little collection of hits tomorrow. So it'll be good.
we will be there. All right. Thank you once again, Derek, for coming on. And for James Whitlock, Jordan Heckman, Derek Armstrong, I'm
go.
Dennis Wilson saying, Go Kings, go!
Go Kings, go!
Go Kings, go! Yeah, it's terrible. That's really bad.
That was bad.
Yeah.
From the armpit.
All
Yeah.
right, Ari. Have a good one.
Thanks, Derek.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Derek.
having me.
Appreciate
You
it.
got it. You got it.